Okay guys, so we've now had the first video leak for the DJI Mini 3. Now, first of all, we actually got this picture, which I didn't actually cover because to me, I didn't think this was real. We've got a really ugly looking drone here. It's like a cross between the Mini 2 and Quasimodo. It doesn't look aerodynamic, it's got bumps over it, and it just looks a bit odd to me, and with the writing all skewed at the top, I thought this might have been fake, so I didn't personally report on this, but now we've got more things that have come out, that have come to light, which makes me believe this is the true Mini 3. Now there's two things in particular that I take away from this photo. The first thing is it's got forward-facing sensors, which would imply to me this drone is going to have obstacle avoidance, and the second thing is it's a DJI Mini 3 Pro. So the Pro would imply you're going to have a Pro version, and I would also imagine you'd get a standard version as well. I'd imagine the Pro version would have this kind of remote, which personally, I quite like the ones where you put your phone on top. It's going to keep the cost down and you're still going to get a good image. But I'd imagine this will have a slightly quicker transmission when flying. Now, if you're going to call this a Pro drone, I certainly hope it had a Pro camera on it, meaning I want to see a slightly larger sensor in there, and I certainly want it to be 10-bit, giving us a wider color range, wider tonal range, which means it's going to be easier to edit. I'd also want it to have some kind of raw editing as well, so just being able to shoot and edit in RAW would be obviously essential for a Pro drone, in my opinion. So let's look at the things that have started to convince me this might be real. Now this is the video. We can actually see it in somebody's hand. This doesn't look like any other drone I've seen, and there's some interesting things about this. So firstly, we can see the gimbal attaches from the side. And obviously, again, we can see the sensors here. And we've got a sort of a bit of a chunky camera going on there. And then underneath, there we go. We can see it's got 249 grams written on there. And we would certainly not expect the drone to weigh more than this. Just due to the laws in different countries, it will make this drone more accessible to more people. It also looks as though the arms fold out the opposite way to the Mini 2 and the Mini. But I don't know why that would be. Let's go and have a look at some of the pictures. Again, Jasper Ellen's here. He always likes a leak for some of the drones. He's put some of the statistics here. It's an E24 f1.7, so it's a 24mm lens, which is the same as the Mini 2. With a 1.7, it's going to let slightly more light in, so it may be better in low light conditions. And again, if you've got a Pro version, I would hope for a better sensor. So certainly would hope it would be better in a low light situation as well. And now again, looking at it on the bottom, we can see very clearly 249 grams. And these sensors look a bit different to me. So these look like the ones that you would take in the ground. I wonder if these are wide angle sensors that can see slightly to the side as well. Because if we look at the next picture, we can see we've got sensors up here too. So if you've got wide angle sensors at the front, wide angle sensors underneath, and wide angle sensors slightly up and back here, this would imply that there is some degree of optical sensing all around the drone, which would be a huge deal, really. This would certainly mean that optical avoidance would be expected when this drone comes out. And looking at what my subscribers have written in comments before, in the DJI Mini 3, this is certainly something that everybody's going to want to be seeing. And again, down here, obviously, we can see the on-off button. This is, again, pretty typical of DJI, and the DJI logo there. Now, we're looking at the battery here. Let's see. Boom, ba-da, boom. It's a 243 milliamp hours. This is slightly more than the DJI Mini 2, meaning I would still expect a similar airtime or similar flight time of around half hour, maybe just more. Having said that, this drone I'd expect would be pushing the 249 gram mark, whereas the DJI Mini 2 is around 238 grams, so it's going to have slightly more weight to it. So there is a possibility that even though this drone's got more amp hours, it may have a smaller flight time, but this is yet to be seen. Now, another thing coming back to this, looking at it straight down, we can see we can't actually see the camera from this angle. So I wonder if the camera can actually face upwards. Because originally it looked a bit like the Parrot Anafi flight from this angle, for example. You would expect that you could actually point the camera upwards and be able to see a above the drone. But I wonder if this is just to correct the fault where the Mini 2, when you fly at full speed, the camera hits the top of the drone and you get a little jerky movement. This might just mean it can fly faster and higher at more of an angle, and you'll be able to do this without jolting the camera and having that annoying effect where the camera keeps moving whilst you're flying. So guys, I'll be really interested to know what you think. Do you think this is a real drone? And also, is this something you would go for? How much would you pay for this drone? I mean, I'm not going to be put off by the fact it's ugly. If it works well and it's really efficient, this would certainly be something that I would like to see. Now, I'm going away on the halfway through April, and I don't think this drone's going to be out now, but I think it will be out around the end of April. We haven't seen anything on the FCC yet indicating that DJI is releasing something that has radio frequencies. So I still think it's going to be a few weeks yet before we see this. But guys, I say, let me know what you think. What price would you expect to see for this kind of drone? And also, would you like this drone? Would you buy it? Is it aesthetically so unpleasing that you would avoid it? Or is your Mini 2 enough for you? Let me know. That's it for this video, guys, and I hope to see you in the next one.